How is this? I've never seen this.
I have found you.
Okay.
What?
Now you must find me, Adam.
What?
Please, help.
Wow, oh.
Shiesty.
Wow, I never even,
All
that's...
right, we're taking a break from finding out what's going on to figure out who that is.
Really?
Well, I mean...
Okay, fine. That's cool.
No, we're not. All right, you're right. Let's just stay there. But that's so, like, that's intriguing.
The glitch?
Yeah.
I guess, I mean, do whatever you want. Dude, you're in control here, so you get to choose whatever.
Joking, right?
Welcome back to Evidence Hour. While we discuss the ongoings of how the court system really works, even though none of us are lawyers.
Seriously.
Pink Titan Ricky Mario back at you with another Deus Ex Mankind Divided. I know I said it backwards, but it's okay. Everyone likes that. And you know...
Backwards.
Actually, what I was going to say was, your day in court is for the day-to-day dealings. You're not Enron, you know what I mean? They're not wasting that type of resources on regular, everyday people, because that's asinine. You got a ticket for littering. They're going to sabotage the evidence against
Like
you.
that, oh, well, you got a ticket. You can't, but that's the thing. You can't use someone's past dealings and
This is-
corroborate that with what happened here. You can't use the fact that I got pulled over for speeding to say that I murdered some girl. The two don't coincide.
Yes, but what does coincide is that he's killed in the past. That's what you can link to.
Yeah, but you don't say he killed in the past because he was part of an organization that hired him to do so. That
The fact of the matter is he's killed, and he's likely to kill again.
How so? How do you put that two and two together?
How? Because you don't know the type of psychological
You don't
damages.
You don't know the type of
But-
psychological anything with that
But
person.
you're most likely going to lean on to the negatives more than the positives. You killed the person.
I have evidence right here. EMP was used and
EMP
she
was
was
used.
strangled.
Okay, so let's
Johnny
just...
doesn't have fingerprints.
All right, so I'm
Johnny is also an
So
og.
theoretically, I'm going to play the prosecutor, right? He used it away from him.
Okay, what about the strangle marks?
Then I would have to say that he had help,
But it wasn't Johnny.
but he has motive to kill.
But it wasn't Johnny. Strangle marks, Johnny has metal hands.
Okay.
Johnny did not strangle her.
But if he is the person that hired,
Where's
he's
the
still responsible
Where's
for
the
it.
evidence of someone being hired? There's really no evidence of Johnny hiring anybody. So we have Johnny, we have a strangled girl, EMP, okay? Let's just say he threw the EMP
Yeah, he threw the EMP.
and dragged her to the back of this alley after incapacitating her.
Okay.
And then strangled her.
Okay.
But those are fingerprints.
Yes.
Johnny does not have hands.
He doesn't have
All right,
hands.
let's go. Let's
So
go.
he
Let's
had
go
help.
with. He had help.
He had help.
Where is evidence pointing to such help? To said help. Donde está?
I'll default back to motive.
What, the poem?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just paint a picture. I write a poem about me not liking the president. The president gets assassinated.
Yeah.
But I was across the world.
Then
I could have hired someone to do it.
But we're
I was
talking
across
about
the
in
world.
reasonability, as in you having access
That case
to the
would get thrown
president.
out. You know that, right?
Huh?
That case would get thrown out in court.
Not really.
Yes, it would.
No, it wouldn't.
It would because
Motive is important. Motive to kill is important.
You're right. Motive to kill is important, but it's nothing without
Because without
evidence.
motive, you get thrown out. Because you can put every evidence to say that I killed the president. What's the motive?
Do you know what we're missing here?
What?
Genuine motive. Reason being, yes, he was married. He was divorced. We don't know the details of their divorce. We don't know how they split up. We don't know who's at
But
fault.
what did he just say? 9 times out of 10, the husband did it.
That's
And they go back to generalization.
you can't.
Just like how
you can't do that though.
But that's
in
what
court,
people do.
In court, I'm saying in
But
court.
that's the thing. It's to prove amongst the jury to make it seem like most likely he did it. People that are watching this in court, they're gonna look at this and be like, "Oh, this guy did it."
How?
Easy.
How?
Let's just say 3 of the 5 jurors went through a terrible divorce. They're gonna say, "I want to kill my wife." I could definitely see that possible.
You're playing on their emotional.
And that's what they do.
But then at the same time,
that's what they do.
and then it's my job to point out the evidence.
Exactly, it is.
But I can't when he won't
sometimes-
listen.
That's what I'm saying. This is our court system.
So what am I supposed to do, Rick?
Sometimes emotions can win over evidence, but sometimes evidence can win over emotion.
So you could sit here as the prosecutor and build up this whole grandstand of things that you are bringing out of thin air
Exactly.
because they aren't real.
Yeah.
So as a defendant, You just sat here and just weaved this whole tapestry of things that we have no evidence
Yo,
about. We know that
lawyers are great for that.
But wait, we know that they were married.
They
we
were
know they
married.
divorced.
They
So
were
clearly
divorced.
their marriage
Went sour.
Went sour some point.
Yes.
We don't know the details of the divorce.
We don't know the details of the divorce.
But what we do know is we
But-
have this lady here. She's dead. She's
dead.
gone.
So
We know how she was killed.
Yes.
She was strangled.
She was strangled.
There were fingerprints
She was-
on her neck.
Yes.
This man has no fingerprints. I'm done. That's all you need to know.
But you can always default back
No,
to the
you
hospital.
can't.
You definitely can. Because it will
O.J.
always...
Simpson, I'm done. The glove does not fit. You must acquit. It's not about emotional. I mean, you can do that. Yes,
You definitely can. What's the biggest example? The Avery case.
I don't know what that's about.
You never seen How to Frame a Murder?
No.
Evidence works to a point, but if you have the jury on your side, it's hard because people don't want to listen to facts sometimes.
They want to be emotional, but you need to bring emotion. Not emotion.
Because you
need
can
to try
say
to cancel that
done,
out.
and he goes, nah, that's not right. That's not right.
Yeah, her being
No,
murdered
he
isn't
definitely
right.
killed him. You basically said, what do you mean? This is blah, blah, blah. You're at an impasse where you're just basically calling them ignorant. And when you call them
I'm not
ignorant,
calling them ignorant. No,
but
I'm simply
that's how
pointing
they will
out.
perceive it.
I'm simply pointing out that look, this person here was strangled. This person here was strangled, and their fingerprints left on their throat.
Yeah.
This person here has no fingerprints. I don't see how you can correlate that with that. I understand that emotionally something is triggering your head, but this is a court. It's not about emotion. This is about evidence.
Right.
Evidence equals conviction.
Okay.
This person cannot be convicted because we have evidence.
And if he does get convicted of a murder, what would you say?
I don't know what you could have possibly said to that person to trigger them in such a manner where 1 + 1 no longer equals 2.
These are things that happen in our society. You can get people to believe that 1 + 1 isn't equal to 2.
In a case like this in particular case, I can't see how.
You can. You definitely can.
Like you're bringing up things that, oh, the guy's passed, he's spotted passed. All right, fine, that's great.
That's right.
What does that have to do
You
with
can
this
incite,
in
that's the
particular
beauty of
case?
inciting emotion. It can cloud
Yeah, but then every
judgment.
time someone does that, you have to stop and make them think and evaluate
That
what's
is your job,
going
yes.
on. So like,
That is.
now that you feel that
But
this-
guess what? Sometimes the facts is not pretty, and sometimes the facts isn't appealing.
they aren't, but they shouldn't be appealing.
They
Facts
sometimes want
should
to
not be
ride
pretty.
their emotions.
Facts
They
should not
rather
be
follow
pretty.
the emotion, and especially if the person is very emotionally inclined, they're gonna dismiss your facts.
We're in court. You have to always remind them you are in court.
Jury. This is the jury we're talking about.
Yeah, you're
and,
in court and understand that.
And who are the jury?
The plain-
everyday
the
people.
plaintiff here wants
Everyday
the plaintiff
people.
here wants to make you feel like the plaintiff wants you to make a decision based on how you feel versus what you know.
Right.
That's not how court works, folks. Just want to let you know. That's not how things should be.
What you just did right there, you just belittled the jury. They're gonna.
That's
take that
not
against
belittling.
you.
That's how law works. How would you feel if you were
But
in
think
this
about
gentleman?
it.
But wait, how would you feel if you were in this gentleman's shoes?
In whose
you,
shoes?
The guy, the husband. You were in his shoes. Your wife just got killed.
Yeah.
And you.
I'm the prime suspect.
Yeah, you're the prime suspect. How
course.
would you feel?
Of course, I'd feel like crap.
All right, so now you have a jury full of your peers telling you murdered this person because
Exactly. They
because
have,
of what?
Right. They have no.
Give me a reason
They're
why.
outsiders coming inside.
But no,
and
as-
they're introduced to
as-
all this evidence and everything like
As
that.
being the person, the subject, the prime suspect. Tell me why you think you murdered this person. Give me a reason. What would be the motive? Tell me how you feel
am
about
I?
this case.
Who
You are
am
the
I?
suspect.
I'm
Tell
the
me how
sus-
you feel about this case.
That I'm being blamed.
Yeah, how do you feel about that? And defend to me why you should not be arrested.
Honestly,
right
I would
now.
answer like, "Oh yeah, they all think that I killed her, or whatever the case is. I didn't do it, and I'm just gonna stand by the fact that I didn't kill
And
her."
why didn't now? Looking at the evidence, what makes you feel that you didn't do it?
At the evidence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would point to the fact that I couldn't strangle her, but I would say that, yeah, they would probably come up with some type of elusive crap against me. And not to mention, in this particular case, I have higher ups in authority that can basically sabotage evidence, or the fact that they'll just disregard my word because it's my word against them type of situation. If you didn't find that paper, that augment, when he got the augment versus when he strangled her.
He been had that augment.
But that's what I'm saying. You needed that paper. If that was missing, who knew when the hell he got his augment?
He's been working that
He probably-
conversation. Let me
you
know
could
he's
probably
been
just turn
working
around
with Bell
and say-
Tower for years.
You could probably say, but that's what I'm saying. That is all his word. This is what he's saying. This is why you need the paperwork. If you didn't get that paper, or you didn't have anyone corroborating what he's saying, and is this just him, or I'm the suspect, I'm just
So
saying,
that paper literally admonishes him. Is
yes,
what you're
because
telling
that's
me.
his doctor.
Who do I speak to get this all done with then? Because then I found the evidence I need. But from what you're telling me, if I close the case right now, or
Did you say it? Go ahead.
all right.
I think I'm finally ready to shed some light on Angela Gunn's murder.
That's good news. My bosses are eager to know why I haven't arrested Johnny yet.
The truth is, we're not even close. Not yet.
Why do you say that? What about Johnny? The more I think about all this, the more I can't shake the feeling. Johnny Gunn killed his
Feeling.
wife.
Look, I didn't find her.
But he's not looking. He's just
Sometimes you
basing
have
on
to admit
feeling.
there just
And
isn't
that's
enough to go on.
sometimes good enough for
But the pieces
authority.
don't fit.
Stupid.
Not yet, anyway.
But that's why the
But I
defense
do know
attorney's job
Johnny
is to
Gunn
prove
didn't
reasonable
kill his
doubt.
wife.
How can you be sure?
Remember that partial print I found on the victim's throat?
What about it?
Johnny Gunn hasn't had fingerprints since the Australian Civil War. His hands are made of alloy. If he had strangled her, he wouldn't have left a smudge.
Alloy, huh? Shit. So, where does that leave us exactly?
We followed the evidence we had. This is where it led us.
You mean nowhere?
I'm not sure exactly. I think a lot of the pieces are there. They're just not ready to be put together. Not yet.
All right. That should be enough for me to get the rope off Johnny's neck. But it doesn't help me solve anything, does it? I mean, unless we
No,
learn
it makes you
more,
stop looking in the
there's
wrong
no
fucking
one that
direction,
can
you
drag me
idiot.
for this.
Let's just hope learning more doesn't mean having to meet over another dead body.
I have no idea.
Daria, are you there?
Is that you, neighbor? Are you checking up on me? It's very sweet. Are there any leads?
We spent most of our time eliminating suspects. I still don't know who killed Angela.
Is that supposed to make me feel better?
No, but it's the truth. Just try to be careful. Keep a low profile. If anything happens, if you ever think you're in danger, you know how to reach me.
Thank you, but let's hope it doesn't come to that.
That's insane that people
Because
just go with that.
You're
in a place of court.
You're placing decision making on everyday men, and it gets only worse.
I'm an everyday man. I don't understand how.
You're not everyday man.
I'm everyday
You're
man.
not
I'm
everyday
Joe fucking
man.
Schmo,
If
Rick.
you're Joe Schmo, and you don't get winged by feelings,
Of course I do. My feelings, they guide me on whether I should or shouldn't do something. They're like, all right, I kind of want to go out tonight, but I probably shouldn't, because if I do, I'm going to get plastered and I have work in the morning. So those are the kind of feelings. But when it comes to things where it's like, oh, this is, I have to put two and two together about whether something was or wasn't done. It's all about what's in front of me. It's not about how I feel. Because if it's a jury full of Joe Schmoes, and I'm a Joe Schmo, they're going to want... Come on, you're in a jury. Don't be the lowest common denominator. Don't be that guy.
yeah, but no, check it out. On top of that, ready? They don't even want to be there, so they want to rush to the actual conclusion because
Don't be that guy. That's evil incarnate. That's
And
a definition
do
of
you know how
evil.
many
That have a
people-
whole jury full of evil incarnate. But it depends on what he was looking over. If it's a murder case and you have me here, you got my attention, and I'm in the courtroom, yeah, I'm gonna do what I have to do as a jury member. I'm gonna want to find out everything because there's a life. Someone died, and then this person here is being accused of it. I want to find out whether he did or didn't do it because someone died. You got me here. Now, if it was like a robbery or something, yeah, I'm dodging that shit. Anyone die? No? What was lost? $1,000? Oh, fuck you! I'm out of here. I gotta go to work. What if I accuse Johnny?
I think your hunch was right all along. As much as I hate validating your department's orders to go after Johnny Gunn, I believe that's exactly what you should do.
Haha, music to my ears. What brought you around?
I read Johnny's poetry. It was violent. He made references to Angela, to killing. Made me think he's killed before.
that's why I
more
kept
than
on
capable
using
of
it
doing
because he
again.
used that.
Makes me... What the
Capable,
fuck?
sure. But I thought you were out there looking for something a little more
Definitive. So you know what definitive
Violent
evidence
blind
is. You're just basing yourself on
Don't get
emotion.
me wrong. I can live with Johnny going down for something he didn't do. I'm just surprised you can.
You don't think Johnny's guilty anymore?
No, this is good enough for
Yeah,
me.
so you know he's
And
not
it's
guilty.
certainly good enough for my department. I guess they were right to focus on Johnny all along. I just hope we got it right.
Yeah. Makes two of us.
I would say look up any high-profile corruption case, or just watch the
I don't not watching my
It's
shit.
real interesting, honestly.
Sad is what it is.
There's plenty of corruption going on.
The corruption is wasn't bothering me. It's the way that you can emotionally toy with somebody
That too.
in a courtroom and let them feel as if they need to divert their eyes away from what's actually in front of them.
I see what you're saying. This is math. This makes sense. But sometimes that math is not appealing to them. They'd rather go with emotions because it just seems more pretty to them. Or it's more, it suits them. You know what I mean?
No, this isn't a daytime drama. This is
it
real
just
life.
so happens that it distorts their view in such a way that it almost comes across as the truth.
Silly.
Right?
Silly. This yes, I can see that, but when there's certain stakes on the line, you have to look. Cause I'll do that. I'll use wordplay to kind of get things done the way I want to, but I'm not for like, oh, you know, I'm gonna sit here and defend this guy. I guess if I had to, yeah, I'd have to string. If you put me as his defendant, I'd have to string together something. You know, make it sound real nice. You know, this guy Johnny was married to her for 12 years.
Yeah.
They had a rocky breakup. You know, and I had to put something together like, yeah, they had a
your
divorce
biggest-
and she took half his money and his livelihood. He's clearly mad.
Yeah,
You know,
he's mad. He's bitter. He wants, and you know,
he wants revenge.
She's successful. Look at his apartment. Alcoholic, depressive, manic, aggressive. You know what I mean? Raging alcoholic. Never been to AA meetings. You know, whatever. And you could just pile a compendium of evidence against this guy. Not even evidence.
have to fight.
A feeling.
I will literally have to fight
feelings.
emotion with emotion.
Literally, it's enough.
That's what I have
for
to come
you.
down to.
Your only argument is.
No, my argument would change.
No,
I
I'm
think.
That's
would
what I'm
have
saying.
to.
Like, it's an uphill battle because you can think about the amount of tapestry he can build off with emotion, and you're
Not
like,
with me.
people, he didn't do it. He just look at his hands. He didn't do it. What are you, stupid? Like, you know what I mean? And then,
Well, I mean, there's no reason for me to berate the jury because when
okay,
you're
but even then,
when
it's
you're
like, people
talking
look
to
at the
them,
evidence.
they're just
He
standing there
didn't do it.
watching.
Look at the way he's explaining it to Zoo. I can jump onto your side. Like, he didn't do it. Look at it. He didn't choke him. He doesn't. How would he do it? You know what I mean? And I would have this guy, and that's the thing. The other guy, the prosecutor, he's always going to be talking to you, or you remember objection, relevance, all this stuff, and then you have to work against the judge sometimes because. Guess what? Sometimes the judge can be the prosecutor's pocket,
friend, yeah.
or the fact that he had a run-in with Johnny for some type of previous incident, so you got to deal with the judge's personal feelings against that guy. So sometimes it's an uphill battle. So everything could be going against you. You have every evidence in the world to prove this man's innocence, but unfortunately, it's an uphill battle because evidence is not enough to get the job done. That's what I'm saying.
And that's amazing. That's amazing
And
that
that
people
sucks.
would allow
I
themselves
agree with
to
you.
be that
It
way.
sucks.
Where is
But
this?
that's how lopsided our system can be. Now, granted, that is not something we deal with, especially if we ever jump into court. That's not something we have to deal with because our problems we don't deal with. We're not high-profile cases. It's not murder. It's not O.J. Simpson type of shit. You know what I mean? With O.J. Simpson, he had the money to get savvy prosecutors, or I'm sorry, defendants, to worm him out of whatever. And I bet
Johnny Cochran's defense wasn't exactly most riveting. He literally played it out in cold tacks. Like, yo, that glove is full with her murder or her blood. That glove can't fit OJ. That's it. He didn't do it.
But what did he?
I honestly believe OJ did it, but
he
I
kept
wouldn't.
playing. He did a. You know what he did? He did a subliminal. If the glove does not fit, you must acquit. And he kept on playing
Nothing
that
about
ad lib
this is clear.
over and
Why are you
over
contacting
me?
and
Yeah.
over. So that's a good psych game.
It is, but it also correlates to evidence.
It does. But I think he psychologically won that whole court
Probably.
case. I think so.
Probably.
Because he pushed that seed.
Yeah,
That
he's-
seed of doubt. And when you insert that and you repeat that case over, because honestly, the prosecution probably try to labor every fact, hardcore fact, and he goes, well, if the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. Right?
It correlates to evidence. It doesn't
Sounds
correlate
good.
to feeling,
Sounds good.
but it correlates to evidence.
It is. It is evidence,
it's like the whole
but
thing.
it's also feeling.
It's like the whole thing that Trump's doing right now with Hillary. He just comes up with clever things to say about her, like Crooked Hillary, and that's for the next month. That's his catchphrase for her, Crooked Hillary. Now,
People get stuck up on small little things.
that doesn't change the way I see her. I mean, do I think she's crooked? In some ways, yes. In some ways, no.
Yeah.
I know that she had some emails and they weren't very flattering. Him doing that is just funny to me. It's not necessarily like it doesn't make or break. The things that you're telling me are things that are pulled out of the air. You're telling me something.
And they do it in the courtroom. Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I've never been in a courtroom. Knock on wood.
That's
I
what
need
I'm.
wood.
No. But that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm so fascinated by watching it, because they literally conjure spells
Shit out the
and
air.
somehow make it truths.
I don't know how they do that. That's crazy to me.
But that's what I'm saying.
That's
And you're like,
crazy to me.
and like you're not
Put it like
believing.
this, if you put me on a jury panel with a bunch of emotional people and evidence points to A and your feelings points to B, I'm going to hold that whole courtroom up for months. You're going to hate me. You're going to work to the point where you're fired.
Probably.
Your friggin' boss is going to fire you because you can't get past how you feel.
Yeah.
That's just really what I'm going to get to. That's that. You don't want me as a jury panel if you can't get past the fact that you feel a sort of way. Exonerate Johnny.
You're gonna
is, we're not even
exonerate
close.
him finally.
Why do you say that? What about Johnny? The more I think about all this, the more I can't shake.
But you're
the
not
feeling.
thinking about all this.
Johnny
That's the
Gunn
problem.
Killed his wife.
See, now you can point.
to someone else.
This was the work of a harvester copycat. This isn't some domestic dispute gone horribly wrong. It's part of something bigger. Someone's out there pretending to be a dead serial killer.
I see you looked into that old case I pointed you toward.
The MO is a perfect match. I read the notes and I compared them to this murder. The two
Now, see, if
victims
I were
killed
him,
by
Jensen,
the
I wouldn't
same
even
person,
done that.
I'm sure of
I
it.
wouldn't have pointed to the copycat murderer.
Alright.
I'd have pointed to the fact that it
Let's
isn't
say
Johnny,
that's true.
because that's once again
That doesn't
extrapolating.
necessarily
You're pulling something out of thin
exclude
air.
Johnny.
Yeah, you have
Just
evidence
means
saying
he's killed
this
more
could
than
be
one person.
someone else who killed it, but you don't
just
know who
telling
that
you what I
person is.
found.
You just pointed it.
But that's the point. You have to
You're
extrapolate. You
interpreting what you
extrapolate,
found.
then you gather the
Trying
evidence to
to,
solidify the
sway my
extrapolation.
opinion.
Otherwise, if you can't,
But if you
you move on to
really
the
want
next
to convince me
extrapolation.
of something,
Try to forge the
you need to
evidence.
keep
Otherwise,
talking.
how
Remember
can
that
evidence
partial
be
print I
formed
found
if
on
you
the
don't have
victim's
the
throat?
thought first?
The evidence is already
What
formed.
about
It's not
you?
Johnny.
Johnny Gunn hasn't had fingerprints since
But
the
somebody
Australian
did
Civil
it.
War.
Someone did
His
it.
hands are made of
Yeah.
alloy.
If my job is my job is to
strangled
find out
He
that it
wouldn't have
isn't
left a
Johnny,
smudge.
not to find out who it is.
That's the defense
Alloy,
lawyers.
huh?
Yeah, as a defense lawyer, it's my job to defend Johnny,
Right.
not to find out who
Where
did
As
it.
a
does that leave
detective-
us exactly?
We followed
I
the
think you have to
evidence we
find out who the
had.
murderer
This
is. I
is
would
where it led
assume
us.
if you're a detective.
Yeah,
You mean
but as a
nowhere?
defense
As a
attorney,
defense, yeah,
sure
you just need to get it off of him.
Yeah.
He's
Think
not a
lot of the
defense lawyer.
pieces
This is
in
fucking
there.
Interpol.
They're just not ready to be put
So essentially, he's
together.
a cop, if you want to
Not
think
yet.
of it like that. A
Yeah.
detective.
Yeah, he's the cop.
So yeah, he
That
has to do
should be
more
enough for
legwork.
me to get the rope off Johnny's neck. But it doesn't help me solve anything, does it? I mean, unless we learn more, there's no one I can drag in for this.
Let's just hope learning more doesn't mean having to meet over another dead body.
Ow!
All right.
The chicken foot, people. The chicken foot.
Wait, I think I can help.
Because you had no means of. I couldn't get in there, but now it makes sense.
I'm
Because
still lost. I'm not gonna lie to you.
what do you mean? You have to open the door. She said, "I can't. I think I can help you."
Oh, that's what she's opening the door.
I think so.
I don't know.
Because that particular keypad had no power to it.
I didn't notice that. Oh yeah, it was shorting out, and the guy was mad because he couldn't get in. That's why he was over there.
And we were here in the video before. Yeah.
Okay,
We were here.
gotcha.
You turned on the breaker, then still didn't put any power to it. And I was just like, well, this is a waste. And you know, we left. What the freak am I looking at? It's
What
a
a giant mushroom.
Future past Antiki. It is the only place in Prague with the requisite reader. As soon as you access the data, we will meet.
You're bugging me out, lady. Oh, I could have just did this and killed all of them. Oh, they're probably already dead. I should stop.
They're dead now. Good job.
Yep.
Good
Oh,
job.
he's still alive.
Oh, lucky.
Let's fix that.
That's shocking, isn't it? So bad.
You might be wondering about the men in the tourism office.
I'm wondering a lot of things.
They were hired by a man named Everett. He is the CEO of Picus Montreal. He wants to recover what is now in your possession. To recover us. Please, be careful, Adam.
I think she's just AI, honestly. She said 10101. I just feel like she's just AI at this point.
Could be.
She's like not real.
Welcome to Future Last, where old is gold.
I'm looking for something that can read an old memory disk.
Wow. Last time I saw one of those, I was cleaning out Granny's apartment. Retro revival, am I right?
Granny, when you're Granny,
they
when you
stopped
can
making
use
them
one
like
of
40
those.
years ago.
You don't say.
So if you don't mind my asking, where'd you get it?
Granny's apartment, like you said.
You know, I wish I had more stuff like this here. Don't tell my manager I said this, but most of our inventory is kind of crap.
I'd imagine.
Good to know. Now, if only I had something that could read it.
Right. Listen, it's just like I told the other guy. Data readers are real collector's items right now. Super rare. And this is the only place that carries them. So I feel it's my obligation to warn you this could get pricey. But don't worry, I'm gonna make sure you don't walk out of Future Last unhappy.
Someone else asked you about a data reader?
Weird, right? I guess these old things are popular again. So anyway, I'm gonna tell you exactly what I told him. All the obscure antique stuff is down in the basement. I think he's digging way in the back somewhere as we speak. I know there's a data reader there in one of the old boxes. Hopefully, too.
I'm not going in the basement. Something isn't right here.
How did you... Oh, jeez. If I've offended you somehow...
Who are you?
Sir, I'm just a guy here at Future whatever the hell it's called. And I'm real eager to solve our mutual memory disk problem.
Wow,
it's
your
my
case
job.
is just crumbling.
You know,
in a
everything you need,
second.
everything you're looking for is waiting for you in the basement. I made sure of that.
What's waiting for me in the basement? Why so eager to get me down there?
Surprise party, just for you. I had a hunch you'd be augmented. I went to a lot of trouble
Okay, that'll
setting
definitely
things
get
up.
me to
Sure
go
you wanna
now.
Take a look.
I'm tired of playing games.
Well, I'm not. You know, I gotta tell you, meeting people is the best part of my job. And you obviously want to get to know me better, so before we go ahead and take care of business, why don't you take a free shot? I'm curious, who is it you think I am?
Those mercs at the tourism office. They were sent to find the disc I have. You must be one of them. You're tracking it down just like they were. I guess that makes you some kind of hired gun, one who likes to play games. Except you're not as good at them as you thought.
Well, whether I'm good or not really depends on what happens next, doesn't it?
If it ends in confrontation, then I think, like, you know.
That's it.
If Jensen isn't overtly detailed with what he says.
Go ahead.
Shoplifting is a crime, sir.
But killing isn't? Okay.
Well done, Adam. Inserting the disk into the requisite drive will allow us to integrate the missing data.
Which will accomplish what exactly?
We are not sure yet. She believes it will recover the real her. I recommend accessing the data in a secure location. Your safe house. They will not disturb us there.
What hole did you crawl out of?
And that's the okie doke, folks. That's what you call okie doke.
And with that riveting conversation and a confused hitman, we must bid you all adieu. Or more importantly, guys, the road to beating PewDiePie starts with confusing your assassins, but it also starts with you.
And if you don't subscribe, I'll be forced to scramble my brain cells like this television screen. Not that they're already not scrambled already.
You know, I heard something once. When your feet falls asleep, or if your leg falls asleep, it feels like the old television, like static noise.
Yeah, that's what it does feel
Isn't that
like.
crazy?
Yeah,
That's like the best visual representation. I just wanted to mention that. Thumbs up if you agree. That's fire. That's gas. That's gas. That's kind of dangerous.
It is.
Okay, well then. That's interesting.
Bye, guys.